Good evening, everybody. This is Natural Nini One, live and direct. Tonight, I have a special guest, KosherLifeMelly, and we are in the hills of East Lake, down in beautiful San Diego, California. And it's always a pleasure to have you. Welcome, KosherLifeMelly. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I know that there's a lot going on out in San Diego. I came down and I caught you off guard a little bit. That's how my interviews go. They just live and direct, just nothing planned or too, rehearsed. Please, if you guys are listening, like and subscribe and give me 2 thumbs up and hit the bell icon, please, and help me out starting my new YouTube page. Again, I'm interviewing Kosher Life Melly, straight from Southeast San Diego, born and raised.
Yes, sir. Skyline, California.
Skyline, California. They call it Skyline Hills when you rolling down. I seen a sign that said Skyline Hills, but yeah, he born and raised, Gribble Block vet. And what's going on, Kosher Life Melly?
Nothing much. Nothing much. Just chilling, maintaining, trying to stay afloat. That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, I know that's right. I know I'm gonna just jump right into it. I ain't got a lot of time. I know you a Rams fan, so I appreciate you allowing me to have this live and direct interview here, out here with this beautiful sunset. Um, I appreciate that. And just from the start, I know that you have been always writing music, even as a youth, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Started writing about, I'll say I actually started writing raps probably around 9 years old. I was writing raps. Really wasn't saying too much. I really didn't say nothing that held substance at the age of 9, but I mean, that's about the time I started writing, actually.
Did you have any influences back then? I know back in the days you went to a few concerts when you was a child. I know I took you to a Nelly concert.
Yeah, I be telling people that nowadays. I be telling them Nelly was the guy for me. He did it. He was the one that put me on
What's the shoes?
Air Force
Yeah,
Ones.
the shoe. I remember that song, and we had to get shoes and shit. But
Yeah,
you guys was real little. Y'all was real little. You and your cousin at that. But I know that I remember you always being musically inclined. Music was in our family, and then like black babies are somewhat born with like soul, and
yeah,
you
definitely.
you you knew music. I used to be cracking Rasta in the car, and
Yeah,
you knew all the
I tell
lyrics.
people all the time that I knew what Rasta was before I knew what actual hip hop was. I understood Rasta before I understood what hip hop was. Like rapping was cool, but it was different type of rappers. But when it came down to Rasta, it was like the beats. They didn't all sound the same, but they all had the same vibe.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
compared to a rap artist who probably got a trap beat, and
right,
probably got a down south type beat, or he got a west coast type beat, where it is with reggae, it all has the same vibe.
right. And you know what? I reggae is something that's very dear to me in my heart and soul and its roots, and it's a message in all the songs, and my cousin Big Kenny Mitchell, rest in peace. Him and OG Norris artists, rest in peace too. Back in the days, they would be in Nana's backyard and they'd be buffing and cracking Rasta, and it had to be in the 80s. I was young, had to be like in the fourth or fifth grade, so it was part of my life way back then. And then I just always had you around everywhere I went. Just so you guys know, Kosher Life Melly is my son, my one and only son, my firstborn, and it's just a pleasure to be able to sit down with him on this road, this journey that he's on. And what's so your background? Since I don't let it out,
Yeah,
I'm your mom, and yeah, and big OG Big Mill.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. My
you
dad.
you you come kind of like you kind of was born into this.
Yeah.
You didn't. It wasn't something that you just jumped in or you found out from some people
No, no,
and you
no.
joined the crew. You was born and raised into this.
Yeah, from day one. I mean, but I mean, I never let that be something that hindered me. You know, like a lot of people would say, "Oh man, you had a rough upbringing or whatever." You know what I mean? But I never let that hinder me or stop me or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I knew where I was coming from wasn't the best area in San Diego. I knew that it was gunfire and violence in my area, but
Mhm.
none of
Mhm.
that ever hindered me from ever
Mhm.
wanting to go play football
Right.
at the
Right.
park. I played basketball for Skyline.
You
I played
did.
soccer for Skyline.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even tried to play baseball for Skyline.
Yeah.
And Coach Victor and Coach Pat,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Coach Pat. Yes, indeedy.
Yeah, like a lot of people
You
don't know.
did. You did. You did, son. And you know what? I say those things when I say like you was born into it. It's not something that I say it as in like, I'm proud my son was born with the East in him. No,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just a fact. It's true.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you
those
just
is
a
my
product of
roots.
your environment, them your roots, and everybody take heed. There's great people that come from Southeast San Diego, and everybody's walk is different. That's why I'm very happy that you did remain musically inclined, and I seen your one of your this is how I kind of really realized like my son is really into music when I see you in a video and it was called Juby, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
So when was that? What you were very young, right?
yeah. I was young. I was like 18 when we did Juby. When we recorded Juby, I was 17, but my birthday was a couple weeks when the video came out. We released it. I was 18 at the time, so yeah, I was 18 years old when Juby came out.
Yeah, I remember that, and little Devin being in the video at a young age.
Yeah, also
Yeah,
born into it.
yep. Also, another one just a product of his environment, born into it. Didn't ask to be there, just born into it. And free my nephew
Yeah,
Devin,
free
free
Dev
Dev
Bobo.
Bobo.
Yes,
Shout out to Dev Bobo. I love you and I miss you
miss you a lot, brother.
and
You call my phone all the time. You know it.
yeah, But I was listening to some of your music, and I listen to all your music. I always tell people like, you support your kids. I don't know a lot about some of the things. I know you said, "Mom, it's politics," so I stay out of it. Just
Yeah,
try to stay in the mother's lane. But a mother is a mother, and
yeah.
if there's any mothers out there that got sons, mother-son relationship is something that's priceless that you won't know it if you don't have one, and they're not always perfect and fancy, but you if you don't have one, then I wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't understand it. But anyway, I say that because you told me one time that your music was your story. Like, well, I was
Yeah,
like, son, why don't you remember I used to say, make a song about love,
yeah,
and
yeah,
ladies
yeah,
like, man,
yeah,
nobody making no love songs. And I'd be like, yeah, the ladies would like it. And, but
yeah.
I know that you told me that your music is back, all facts. And,
All
and you
facts.
telling the story, right?
Yeah, all facts. I'm telling my story to make his story.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And unfortunately, along the way of your journey, there's been a few fallen soldiers. You done lost a few people that you love, I'm sure.
Yeah, I
So
have.
that's probably impacting a little bit of your music as well.
Yeah, RPT foe, too cold. Them was some close ones. You know, I miss them dearly. RP Dre, that's my brother. You
Mm.
know, I miss him dearly. Like it hits hard. I remember when homie Darius died. Right, he passed away. Tifo, named Tiny Tap. I remember when Tiny Tap passed away. You feel me? My uncle came in there. My uncle T. Barter came in there, and the first thing he said was, now you get to see how I feel when you lose a homie. This shit is for real." And since that day forward, my life changed drastically, like overnight. It kind of changed, and I became a different person. I think it grew me a little more, made me a little more wise, a little more mature. But it definitely hurt though.
They still put a crack in your heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we was young. And that wasn't it. That wasn't he wasn't that person like that. He was a good soul. He was a good person. He was a funny, joking dude, and he was just a loving soul to be around. He wasn't a bully. Most of the people they think all gang members are bullies. But he wasn't a bully. He was actually one of the nice guys. But
he gave some balance to everything.
But he was with the bullshit. You know what I mean? But he was still humane at the end of the day, and that's what I miss the most is those type of homies, and that's what I miss about him because he was one of the ones that he was quiet, but he still had a funny, goofy side to him too. If you knew him, So that's some, I miss him for that.
Rest in peace, little youngster. Yeah, you was young, and when you was young, I also remember you. Your name wasn't KosherLifeMelly.
No.
You was Mary Melly.
Yeah.
And Mary Melly had one of the hardest albums, Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah. That was right before I went back to prison.
I can't even explain because that one right there is when I was telling you, like, make a love song. But then you came out, you had sent me a song I in my head, and it was you. In the beginning of it, you said, "I'm gonna take the stairs."
Oh yeah. That's my
closer to
that's my closer to my dreams.
Yeah, I said
everybody loves that song, but it's so crazy because I love that song so much. But what's so fucked up about that song is that I didn't even get to promote that song the way I was supposed to because I went to jail. Like when Ty heard me, like I wrote that song. Okay, this is a backstory to that song, and this is why that song hit so hard because it was true. So like during that week, one of the young homies died, and he was just with us. You know what I mean? And then some events happened. He ended up dying. So when he died, it's time to lay everything on the table, and we all lay everything on the table, and we had a real hectic week that week, and I just remember the homies was still trying to do normal shit at the same time. We was in this full-on war with what just happened. And the homies are still regular, normal people because I'm hanging out with the homies and they play football and basketball. They normal. So one day, the homie Peanut, YSG Peanut, shout out him, that's my little brother.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, little Peanut.
That's my little brother. So him and little Jamal, you feel me?
Yep.
They was playing. They wanted to play football for Mesa College, and I remember they was having tryouts. I was like, "Fuck football." I was over it. They wanted me to try out with them just to do it, and I was like, "Fuck football." So what I did was I waited in a car for them. So I drove Peanut's car around to the practice field, parked on the hill, and I always keep my backpack with me. So I had a notepad at the time, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm finna write." And I kept saying I was gonna write because what I do is I like writing to Drake beats. A lot of people like writing to Drake and then they try to sound like Drake on the Drake beat. I don't do that. Whenever I rap over a Drake beat, it's always about gangster shit. Drake don't make gangster music. You know what I mean? But I got the talent enough to tell my story over a Drake beat because that's how good I am. I can rap over any beat. I don't have to tell a love story or make a play a song. You know what I mean? Over a Drake beat, I don't have to do that. I can give it to you raw and uncut from the field on a Drake beat. So I wrote to Closer to My Dreams, and when I wrote Closer to My Dreams, I literally was in my feelings when I wrote it, like because I was feeling like that at that time. I was mad, like you know what I mean. And I said it in my first bar. I said it, rapping and gang banging, it don't mix. How you making hit songs when homies is getting hit? Yeah. Because you're getting tested out here where it's like you making songs where it's Juby on it and it's a Juby song and My Team was a hit at the time.
Right.
So when my team was out,
Yeah, my team.
and they like, dang, you making hit songs, but homies is getting hit, you know?
Right.
And the homie just died, you know? And then I'm really expressing
Right.
myself with these lyrics. So that song hit really hard. So like even when I, you know, I say Mims at the time, free Mims until then we doing wipe downs. He was still locked up at that time. You know what I mean? I was still speaking from the heart in my gut when I said it, you know, and that's why I feel like the song hit a little harder in the community because at the time when I did it, everybody knew what I was talking about. So it hit a little different. And a lot of people tell me now, like, dude, you should still shoot a video to that song. Shoot one now. Shoot
I'm
one
telling
now.
you.
And I'd be like, nah, it's too
I'm
old.
telling you, nah, that is crazy. That is never too old. That is perfect. And I'm glad that, man, I'm glad that I got that. I got some of that. I got it. I ended up getting it off of back then like Spotify or something. Whatever you guys sent it to, but now you like
It was
on
on
all the
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. I knew it was something,
Yeah.
but aren't you on like all the? You can kind of tap in now because I was
Apple Music, Spotify.
Yeah.
That's but I wrote that. I'm still the mayor of Melly though, because you led off the question saying that by saying. I know he was all bumping. We outside right now, y'all.
Yeah, we outside, live and direct in the field on the balcony. You might hear some cars going by, but we in the
we outside in the field.
beautiful hills of the East Lake.
From that.
Yes, indeedy, and we got a beautiful sunset. We looking at the sky is blue, light blue, and orange.
Smooth.
But yeah, so that anyway, this that whole album, I could tell now you put a lot into it. But you mentioned another album after that. It was another. You had so many different albums.
Yeah, I did.
Vote.
Vote. Yeah, Vote. See, a lot of people don't know what Vote stands for. They just think it's Vote. So, like with Vote, all my titles of my mixtapes, they all have a meaning behind them, you know. So, Vote, it stands for victory over the enemy.
Right.
You know, so the way I put it as vote is because it's political. You know,
right.
When you vote, you win.
Right. Right.
You know, somebody there's a winner.
Right.
So you vote, but your vote is going towards, you know, if Donald Trump and Joe Biden is over there,
right.
One of them's the enemy, and you know they're enemies.
Right. Oh, slow Joe.
Exactly. So it's victory over the enemy.
One of your lyrics, I heard something about putting in your ballot or something in your ballot, casting your ballot or something in one of them, but.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I just be listening. I'm telling you, I listen to a lot of your music and even just some stuff like I know you got so much shit that ain't even out and released that people haven't even heard.
Yeah, nah.
You know, I won't even talk about it, but you know, it's one of them. I like you like, man, no wonder nobody don't know that yet. And I was all talking about it, so I know what's up with that. Yeah. But I'm very thankful. I know you got some shit in the vault, is what they call it.
Yeah, the vault.
So, what can you touch a little base on the kosher life? I know you guys are really big with the kosher life. A lot of people just really not familiar with the kosher. Sometimes they see kosher on certain things. You know, are you guys Jewish? You know, and stuff like that. So, you know, can you talk a little bit about the kosher life family?
Yeah, Kosher Life was created probably back in like 2011. It was like the same round time like Odd Future, Tyler the Creator, and them had their little crew, and we was just basically kids from you know Skyline area, and you know we basically was like we're gonna make our own little Odd Future, but we called it Kosher Life because at first it was the Brainiacs when niggas was jerking. Then we switched it up because niggas got grown. Was like, okay, clearly dancing is not the move. So, you know, that's never our thing in the first place. So we was like, all right, it was cool, a little scene, but dancing is not our thing.
Right.
So, you know, we switched it over to, you know, Kosher Life. And really who came up with the name was Pat. So Pat came up with the name with Jameer, who's Kosher Life Mir, and then you got Kosher Pat. So they came up with the name.
Yep. Shout out to Pat and Jameer, Kosher Life. Shout out to all the Kosher Life family members because it has been a huge expansion. Is from what I can see from back then.
Oh yeah, definitely we got the little bros, but like we all grow old, but we all know it's kosher at the end of the day. We all got our own paths that we're on right now as adults. But when we were coming up, you know, that was the thing for us is making the name for ourselves and putting the brand on because we
Yeah.
wanted to make a mark in the East.
Yes.
And when we first started that, like even today, like, it's some Lincoln Park niggas that'll see a nigga with a kosher hoodie on and be like, oh, you got a kosher hoodie on, nigga? Like, that's some East shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I like it like that because
Yeah.
that means we made our mark.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That means that our mark
Yeah.
has been made. We hit our
Yeah.
we
We
hit
got
our
some
spot.
kosher stuff in our house. We got some kosher beanies and hoodies and
Yeah.
you see how
But see,
Granny got
but
that
that's
kosher
also
sticker.
that's also hater shit too because it's like
Yes.
you guys got shit over there that we know for a known fact. There's food vendors over there that you guys have, and we go buy food from the food vendors and post it and say this food is good. We would never hate on nothing coming out of the same shit we coming out of. That's
Right.
the difference between Kosher Life and the rest of these other dudes. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like Kosher Life, those are my brothers. You know what I mean? For sure. Like just my
And it's
niggas.
definitely longevity. It's here for longevity and every like you said, everybody's walk is different. Everybody's path is their own path, but in the end, everybody has the mutual respect that they need for one another. So
Yeah.
it's definitely some longevity in that. But I just wanted to just get a little bit of interview with you, son. Just something to share with the world that you are a pretty cool and decent dude, and if you don't know, then it's too late.
Yeah.
And then with the other album cover, if you know, then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's what it is. See, I went vote, and then after vote, it was like I didn't know which direction I wanted to go towards with after vote, but I kind of figured it out as my life was going on, and it's like one of the first songs off of that one was I think after I did vote, I want to say I did "Take Me to Mexico."
take me to Mexico with the fuck the what is it, the fuck the plug or the
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that down in the link. I'm gonna send the link to that song, y'all. You're gonna have to tap in on that,
Yeah.
and I play that a lot. It's so authentic and it's so you, and just bringing in the little Mexican music like that. Just
Yeah, it was. It was Take Me to Mexico after that. That was my Take Me to Mexico was like uh basically it was like me saying like, I'm a felon. So I never really got to experience Mexico as an adult. Like I went over there for like my sister when she had to get her teeth done when my pops and shit, like when I
mhm,
was a kid and shit like that. My grandma go over there real quick for the dentist and
mhm,
or get some type of medication or something. That was about it. But I never got to go over there like, put my feet in the water and just
right.
do my thing.
Rosarita,
Yeah,
yeah,
so like, I want to go right there. That's like down there in second home. Like we literally could look
yeah,
at Mexico from where I'm
yeah.
at.
We damn near there right now by the looks of
Yeah,
it.
we could definitely,
One of the old essays is cracking some oldies. That's what y'all probably hear in the background. But yeah, son,
yeah,
uh, I usually like to talk about a few fun facts
yeah,
or some this and that's type questions if that's all right with you. Like I said, I
yeah,
really appreciate you just giving me the time because I kind of just caught you off guard and reeled you in. But that's my whole object, just to find and catch somebody. You never know. You guys might see me and I might just clip a mic on you and ask you if I can sit down with you for 5 or 10 minutes, and show your love to Natural Nini One. I'm a get Kosher Life Melly into some fun facts so we can learn a little bit about the other side of them, other than the music. And I'll just start off and just jump right on in.
yeah,
Whether, whatever it is Do you prefer uphill or downhill?
I prefer up.
Uphill. Uh, you like a little struggle, I see, or
No, I like the workout.
yeah, yeah,
I like the fact that you get to, like, as you're gradually going uphill, you can feel yourself getting stronger as you get
yeah,
to the top.
yeah. Good choice. Blue or black?
Black.
Sunrise or sunsets?
Sunsets.
Bagels or donuts?
Donuts.
If you had to do one, I mean, if you had to, with all the proper equipment and everything that comes with it, skydive or deep sea dive?
Skydive.
Yeah, a lot of people choose that in my interviews. They say that it's better if the view is up high.
I don't want to be underwater.
Two people said in the interview you'll hear why they didn't want to be in the sky.
Yeah.
But that's, like some of the things that people talk about. I want to see the under the ocean. I know it's a lot going on, but at the same time, I don't know if it's just that necessary that I see it. What is a country or even a state or a city that you always wanted to see?
A country.
Either a country, a city, a state.
I wanted to move to Paris for the longest. Like,
Wow.
since I was a kid, I was like, I'm moving to Paris. I'm moving my family to Paris. I want to get out of the United States. Since probably about the age of 13, I was like,
Mm.
I'm done with the United States. I was over it.
Ooh.
I was like, I want to go to Paris, but then everybody's like, Paris. I actually went to prison and had a cellie that was from Paris, but he was from Lincoln Park Bloods too. He got put on out here, but he was really from like France or whatever, England, and he used to put me up on game on how it was over there. He loved it over there. He made it sound like I wanted, like I always knew it was growing up as a kid. But it's different because over there they don't play with guns and shit like that. They stab everything. Everything's with knives.
I
It's
had
like,
a Cuban friend. He rests in peace now. His name was Pedro, and he was from Cuba. He told me, he said, we don't have a gun. He said, you don't have a gun and make too much noise. You should get the machete. See, no noise.
yep,
I said, yeah,
that's how
slice
it
the
is.
neck.
That's how it is, and that's why it was a little quieter over there, but it probably has its moments.
Yeah,
But
look at the reviews now, because I was looking at some reviews, and like I said, it's ups and downs. I live in Las Vegas, so
yeah,
you damned if you do, you damned if you don't there too. It's one of those kind of cities. You can go for the moment and beautify, but if you live there, you can't live right in the tourist part where everybody be at. It'll be like too much.
yeah,
Some people don't realize.
yeah. No, I ain't trying to live with it. Even then, I even said if it wasn't gonna be out the country because I was a felon, so I had to revamp my thoughts, and I was like, I would move to New York, but I wouldn't move to New York City, New York. I would move like Buffalo, New York, like outskirts of New York, and then I want to live like 30 minutes from there, like just have a
Hmm.
spot out there 30 minutes from New York City. So if I wanted to, I can go into the city.
Right,
You
right.
know what I
Pay
mean?
all them toll bridge fees. I heard
I
they
mean,
got
yeah, I'll do it. It's only 30 minutes away. Enjoy the city, and then go back to my house on the outskirts, where I ain't got to be in the chaos and everything's going on.
chaos. It is chaos. It is.
Yeah, I thought about down south, but I'm just black, so like I'm gonna be
Yeah.
around a lot of people that look like me. And down south, I would love down south. You know what I mean? But I know how the type of person I am, and I know the type of people that's down there too. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna clash.
Ignorant folks. It's probably some smart, prominent people. I'll
No,
make
for
a lot
sure.
of people mad, but then I've seen some not the greatest from down south. The ones. So yeah,
I mean,
people could say that or whatever. A lot of people could say some that there's a lot of neighborhoods that if you don't understand and you didn't be there, then you won't know. Because people love, Crenshaw, and look what goes on in Crenshaw from back in the
yeah, but
days. You
what
know
goes
what I
on
mean?
Crenshaw goes on right here too.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
it's like,
saying. So
you know what I mean?
I'm just using that as an example. It's like Even at work, when I do go to work, I tell them, they're like, oh, we're in Beverly Hills. I'm like, no, this over here is Normandy and Western. Like, we ain't on Beverly Hills. Oh no, we're on Rodeo Drive over here. And they be joking around in the aisles and shit. But I'm like, no, in reality, crime and gangs and robberies and killings and drive-bys and molestations and everything goes on everywhere, all over the world and over the whole earth. And you just gotta try to be as safe as you can wherever you go. And unfortunately, you can't really go nowhere nowadays. You just gotta really like make sure that you protect yourself at all times and eliminate some of the places that you even go to just to not even have to worry about those kind of problems.
It's exactly what I do. Exactly what I do. Literally. I got 2 kids, so I can't really be putting my kids in danger. So it's a lot of places that I won't go, but I will go. Like I'm not hiding from nothing. I'm not scared of nothing. But it's like, do I want to put my kids in jeopardy? It's cool if I'm by myself.
Yeah.
If I'm by myself, it's cool. I'm not tripping. But if I'm with my kids, it's like, all right, am I really gonna put their lives in danger because of a situation that I can't control? I mean, it happens to the best of us, but I know at the end of the day, I would think 8 steps ahead of that before I even put myself in that situation. So
Amen.
I don't
Amen.
even stay. I stick and move. I don't really stay in one spot too long. Like I don't like it after a while. It depends on what we actually doing. If we doing something productive, then I'm gonna stick around for it. But if it's strictly bullshit going on, we ain't doing shit. I'm up out of here.
Yeah. Right.
It's
Right.
always been that way.
Right. Well, I really, really am glad that I got to do this interview, even if it was old school music from the essays in the background and cars maybe riding by. It was so rare and original and live footage that it's priceless to me, son.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very thankful and I'm so proud of you. And no matter what, no matter whatever it is in the whole wide world, I will always support you. I will always support you at any cost. That's just the way it is with a mother and a son.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you so much. And thank you guys for tuning in to Natural
What? Yeah.
Nini One. We are live and direct. Kosher Life Melly
Radio.
has started receiving phone calls, and also he has took the initiative
Yeah.
to not worry about that preseason game as much. But thank you, son. I love you a whole lot. Thank you for joining.
Love you more, Mom. I hear you. Yeah.